Andrew McIntosh is here with this Fox News at 9 exclusive. Andrew.
Estrada was released yesterday. Court records show a $650,000 bond was posted to get him out. Tonight, the teen's freedom is a shock to many.
What's odd about it is how close to home it is.
This man is living near an accused killer.
It is kind of disturbing.
After being released from jail Tuesday, 18-year-old Joey Estrada is once again living in this Northwest Side home with his family.
I don't think he should be out.
Neither does Bexar County DA Susan Reed.
I don't like to see any murderer out of jail and walking around on the streets, or alleged murderer.
The teen's charged with capital murder for killing his next-door neighbor, Los Barrios founder Viola Barrios, back in April. Police say he admitted to murdering her, allegedly with a bow and arrow, setting her house on fire to cover up the crime, and stealing the 76-year-old's credit cards and Mercedes.
There are evil people in the world, unfortunately. And I think evil needs to be dealt with.
Reed says she'll push for the death penalty if Estrada's found guilty. Right now, he's still awaiting trial, but after 8 months waiting behind bars at the Bexar County Jail, he's out on $650,000 bond. Records show his attorney, Carlos Martinez, bailed him out. This Los Barrios customer believes he should stay in.
He should be kept in there until the trial comes on him.
Though he's free from his cell, Estrada's not free to roam around. The teen's under house arrest. We're told he has to wear a GPS monitor at all times and submit to weekly drug tests. Reed says to keep the community safe,
I think they're necessary conditions.
I'll have to watch out for my kids now.
But Estrada's neighbor doesn't think he'll have to worry about the teen for too long. He believes the alleged killer will be convicted and go back to jail.
His hands are all over it. It's just a matter of time.
Estrada's next court appearance is January 26th. The DA says his trial date has not yet been set. Viola Barrios' family tells us they have no comment on the teen's release. Cynthia, the Bexar County Sheriff's Office tells us a paperwork delay kept the teen behind bars right here. But this paperwork tells a different story.
They had in hand an order to release him within 10 minutes of the verdict.
Attorney Don Mock says this is what the Bexar County Jail received last Friday night.
Right from the district clerk, they were faxed a case dismissed. This is your authority to release the defendant.
But Mock's client, 17-year-old Daryl Wilson, was thrown back in jail after being acquitted of murder. The teen was on trial for the stabbing death of Robert Perales Jr. at the Fiesta Carnival last spring. After 7 hours of deliberations, a jury decided Wilson acted in self-defense.
Says that we, the jury, find the defendant, Daryl Wayne Wilson, not guilty of murder as charged in the indictment.
It's been a 10-month ordeal for my client, and it was a great relief.
That relief was followed almost immediately by confusion.
I know he was worried in there. He couldn't understand why he wasn't released.
Wilson was supposed to be processed and set free, which we're told at most should take a few hours. But he sat in a cell for 17 hours. And though all the charges against the teen were dropped, Mock had to post a bond the next afternoon to get him out.
I know they handle some pretty rough people over there. But when someone's found not guilty and he's 17 years old, you ought to do everything you can to get him out of that place. The best I can say is they're incompetent over there, but it's for them to answer what happened.
In an interview Wednesday, a sheriff's spokesman said jailers didn't receive the right paperwork to let Wilson go. But these confirmed documents state the order for release was faxed from the court and received by the jail at 9:24 Friday night, just minutes after the verdict.
So they had this in short order.
The next day, a court official who noticed the teen was still in custody refaxed the order to the jail 3 more times.
Here's a confirmation they received it.
Still, the innocent teen had to be bailed out. Juvenile court officials tell us they've never experienced anything like this, and neither has Mock. He's considering legal action, but wants to give the sheriff's office a chance to solve the problem first.
Like I told one of them, I said, Daryl can't get his 17 hours back, but at least you can change your procedure so it won't happen again.
This afternoon, a sheriff's spokesman didn't want to comment any further about Wilson's paperwork issue. However, he did tell us it is all under review. We're live near downtown. Andrew McIntosh, Fox News at 9. Authorities say the men are in big trouble for accepting thousands of dollars, even a motorcycle trailer, from Saha contractors. Outside the courthouse today, one of the defendants tells us he's innocent. So you're saying you're not guilty of these charges?
Exactly.
Why did they arrest you?
I have no idea.
Fidencio Martinez denies any crime as he rushes out of federal court Thursday. But the FBI believes a Saha maintenance technician took about $16,000 from contractors. Now he's charged with accepting bribes. The alleged corruption at the local agency that receives federal funding doesn't end there. Maintenance supervisor Roman Reyes allegedly received more than $28,000, and project manager Robert Oliveras is said to have taken around $18,000 in kickbacks. Mr. Lopez, is there anything you want to say at all? Alfredo Lopez, the fourth Saha worker indicted in this case, is accused of lying to FBI agents. He claims he was never offered or received anything of value from contractors. The FBI says Lopez was illegally given a motorcycle trailer and is charged for giving agents a false statement.
Saha does not tolerate nor condone any wrongdoing from any Saha employee.
Saha Director Lourdes Castro Ramirez says her agency has been cooperating with the government's investigation since it began last fall. Castro Ramirez says she can't tell us which contractors or projects this all involves because right now, she tells us, the FBI hasn't given her that information.
What we do know is that they have evidence.
Saha has had its share of controversy in the past. While the latest indictments add to the list, Castro Ramirez says she's starting a review of the agency's contracting procedures to help make sure a scandal like this doesn't happen again. Meanwhile, the four charged Thursday are all out of jail and out of a job.
We have been moving swiftly to ensure that these employees are terminated.
The four defendants charged today are set to return to court on June 30th. The fifth, who we're told is in jail on a different charge, will go before a federal judge for this case tomorrow morning. After we made some calls, the city takes steps to take care of the mess. Right now, the lot's filled with things that might make you cringe. The mom-to-be believes the people who hang out there broke into her home.
Oh, it hurts because they took from my kids.
Juanita Alvarado says burglars punched a gaping hole in the side of her house on Porter Street sometime overnight, climbed in and took her family's microwave, air conditioner,
even food, all my meat.
Some of that meat is still lying on the ground beyond burglar bars and barbed wire fence the mother of two thought would protect her. With another baby due any day, she thinks the people who spend their nights hanging out in the lot next door are responsible for turning her life upside down. But she's not going anywhere.
I can't move nowhere else because I can't afford nowhere else. I shouldn't have to leave. They need to leave.
Juanita says she did call the city about the mess once before. Now she's just sick of looking at the used needles, dirty toilet paper, and tons of beer bottles scattered feet from her front door. Meanwhile, she doesn't want her kids seeing everything else going on when the sun goes down.
They're having sex, doing drugs. They use the restroom over here.
While we were here, we actually witnessed a man walk onto the east side property and start urinating. Juanita's neighbors tell us the lot's been trouble for decades.
I've been here for 30 years, and that's what it's looked like. It is a nuisance. I will say that.
After we looked around the lot, we called the city about it. Within an hour, a code enforcement officer showed up and told us it will be taken care of. A spokesperson for outgoing District 2 Councilwoman Sheila McNeil says the property's on the city's list and should be cleaned up in 60 days. Juanita hopes once all this is gone, the people who put it here will follow.
They don't live here. Why should they hang around here?
We're told after the property owner's notified of the issue, he has a month to respond and clean up the lot. If he doesn't, the city will do it, then send him the bill.